Good people, welcome to my YouTube channel again. My name is Relax Moeng. Today we will be covering the first key of the super rich. Remember, I have sources that I have requested from, for me to know this information. But you just have to check the storyline of everything. Yeah. So moving forward, the first key. Many people have been asking, what is the first key of the super rich? The first key of the super rich is personal development. It's personal development, the development of the self. So what do I mean by personal development? Personal development, I mean that you must invest in yourself as a person, as a human being. And in every rich person, they are sure they have invested in themselves at first. We can check off people like Dan Penn who have invested in themselves. We can check people like Warren Buffett who have invested themselves by getting mentors to guide them in their way forward. We have people who are like Robert Kiyosaki who have told us stories of like the cash flow quadrant. As a person, you must know which cash flow quadrant you are at. So we have the 4 quadrant which we have, where the E quadrant which stands for employment, and we have the second quadrant which stands for self-employment. We also have the third quadrant which stands for business owners. We also have the fourth which stands for I, for investors. So moving forward, good people, those are the things that we must learn. We also have the book which is go by the cash flow quadrant. Those are the things that the one person must invest themselves into. So we also have books such as 100 Lessons in Diversity that will enhance your leadership skills. As a person, as a business owner, as a self-employment person, you must have the skills and the quantity to lead people. So we also have people like Nicola Tesla, who gave us a philosophy of the energy, frequency, and vibration. What do I mean by energy, frequency, and vibration? I mean that you must discover yourself which vibration or which energy, which frequency are you vibrating in as a person. Moving forward, people, I just want you to just take a look in terms of how you spend your money. Do you spend your money on books, or do you spend your money on unnecessary things? So those are the things that you must cover as yourself, as a personal development key. So moving forward, I'll also be giving you the history and mystery of wealth. What do I mean by the history and mystery of wealth? For you, you cannot solve the mystery of wealth without understanding the history of wealth. Meaning that the people who create new wealth today are the people who created in their economic era that they live in. Starting from the 1700 to 0 to 1700, where things like agriculture, land was equals wealth by then. Today, it's a different story. Between 1750s to 1950s, we have things like industrial age. We're in the industrial age, meaning that machines were equal to wealth. People who had machines had wealth. And then we moved to 1950s to 1970s, where we went into a distribution age. Into a distribution age, that's when now outlets were equals wealth. Because of the machines that they had, they were now making a lot of things that need to be distributed. And then from 1978 to 1994, we went into a technology age. We saw people like Bill Gates becoming billionaires. We saw people like Steve Jobs becoming billionaires. Because why? Technology was now equals to wealth. Moving forward, people, in 1994 to 2003, we went into an information age. What do I mean by that? In an information age, where things like Yahoo, where things like Google, people who can control the flow of information, those are the people who made money by then in that economic era. Meaning that if you are in that economic era, you are still focusing on employment, you will not succeed, you will not create wealth, focusing on salary or paycheck or whatever it is. And then in 2003 to 2008, we went into a tech entertainment age. What do I mean by that? We had people like Mark Zuckerberg who came up with apps, with people who came up with iPhone, in 2008. July, the 7th of July 2007, with people who came up with many things. So now we're in a partnership age, because now if you can take a look, we have people like App Store, we have people like Google Store. they said if you can make an app and put it in our store, that's when now we'll be able to pay you. You'll keep 70%, we'll keep 30%. So now we're in an attention age. We were in an intelligence age. We're in attention age, meaning but for you to create wealth today, meaning that you must focus on those key aspects. People, that's it for key number 1 of the personal development. Moving into the I want you to tune more to look at the another key. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Let's run it. Yeah.